Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the captivating world of Stoicism. Stoicism, for those who might be unfamiliar, is an ancient philosophy that originated in Greece around the 3rd century BC. It's a philosophy built on self-control, virtue, and wisdom, teaching us to accept things as they are and not as we wish them to be. Stoicism has remained relevant throughout the centuries, and it's perhaps even more significant today in our fast-paced, distraction-filled modern world. It provides us with tools to navigate life's storms with grace and tranquility, helping us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. But Stoicism isn't just about personal development, it also gives us a lens through which we can understand others. Today we're going to explore the 7 types of people that Stoicism warns us about. Buckle up, and let's embark on this philosophical journey together. First up, we have the complainer. You know the type, the one who always seems to find something wrong, something to gripe about, no matter how small or insignificant. They're the ones who see the glass as half empty, even when it's brimming over. Stoicism warns us about such individuals because their constant negativity can be infectious. It can weigh us down, cloud our judgment, and stifle our positivity. A complainer's energy is not aligned with the Stoic philosophy of accepting life as it comes and finding contentment within that acceptance. So how do we manage interactions with them? The Stoic approach is not to try to change the complainer or to absorb their negativity, but to maintain our own inner peace. We can listen, we can empathize, but we should never allow their complaints to alter our perspective or emotional state. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we can't. Moving on to the second type, the victim. This archetype is characterized by their tendency to see themselves perpetually at the mercy of external circumstances, rarely taking responsibility for their own actions. They're often heard saying things like, "It's not my fault," or "I'm just unlucky." Stoicism, however, warns us about falling into this mindset or becoming too entangled with those who do. Stoicism teaches us that we have control over our reactions, even when we can't control the events around us. Thus, when dealing with the victim, it's important to maintain this perspective. Rather than getting swept up in their narrative of helplessness, encourage them to recognize their agency, to understand that they too can choose their reactions. But remember, this isn't about blaming. It's about empowering. It's about shifting the focus from what happens to us to how we respond. In Stoicism, we learn that our perception of events, not the events themselves, affect our emotions. Scene script. Next, we have the Controller and the Perfectionist. Let's start with the Controller. This is the person who always wants to be in charge, to have a say in every decision, big or small. They believe they can orchestrate everything around them to their liking. However, Stoicism warns us about this type of person. Why, you may ask? Stoicism teaches us that trying to control everything is not only impossible, but also a surefire way to invite stress and anxiety into our lives. This is because the only thing we can truly control is ourselves, our actions, and our reactions. Everything else is beyond our grasp, and accepting this is the first step towards tranquility. On the other hand, we have the perfectionist. This is the person who strives for flawlessness in everything they do. They set excessively high performance standards and are overly critical of their own mistakes. Stoicism advises caution with this type because perfection is an illusion. It's like chasing a mirage. No matter how hard you try, you can never reach it. Perfectionists often find themselves stuck in a cycle of dissatisfaction and disappointment, which can lead to reduced productivity and even mental health issues. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to strive for progress. It's about doing a little better each day, learning from our mistakes, and growing as individuals. It's about accepting that we are human and that mistakes and flaws are part of our journey. It's about understanding that the beauty of life lies in its imperfections. So, how do we deal with controllers and perfectionists, or perhaps these tendencies within ourselves? The answer lies in acceptance and understanding. Acceptance of the fact that we can't control everything and understanding that perfection is an unattainable ideal. We need to focus on what we can control: our actions, our reactions, and our attitude towards life. Remember, Stoicism is not about achieving perfection or controlling everything. It's about finding tranquility amidst the chaos of life, about embracing our flaws and learning from our mistakes. As Stoics, we strive for progress, not perfection. and we understand that trying to control everything is a recipe for unhappiness. Now let's talk about the critic and the gossip. The critic and the gossip, two types of people who can create an atmosphere of negativity and discord. The critic is always on the lookout for faults, eager to point out the shortcomings of others. They're often quick to judge, slow to understand, and seldom willing to appreciate the good in people or situations. The gossip, on the other hand, thrives on the spread of rumors and hearsay, often embellishing tales for their own amusement or to manipulate the perceptions of others. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of emotional resilience and personal ethics, warns us about these two personalities. Why? Because their behaviors can disrupt our tranquility, distract us from our pursuit of virtue, and lead us astray from the path of personal growth. The critic can make us doubt ourselves, question our worth, and undermine our self-confidence. The gossip can make us suspicious of others, breed mistrust, and create needless conflicts. But remember, Stoicism teaches us that it's not what others say or do that disturbs us, but our reaction to it. It's within our power to choose how we respond to the critic and the gossip. When dealing with the critic, remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. When someone criticizes you, they do so because they believe their judgment is correct. Instead of feeling hurt or defensive, try to see if there's any truth in their criticism. If there is, use it as a tool for self-improvement. If there isn't, let it go. When dealing with the gossip, remember that gossip is just that, idle talk. It's unproductive, often untrue, and a waste of your precious time and energy. Don't engage in it. Don't be swayed by it. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think or do, only what you do. Stoicism reminds us to be mindful of our own actions and words rather than focusing on the flaws and chatter of others. Finally, we have the pessimist. This character often sees the glass as half empty, focusing on the negatives rather than the positives. They're masters of conjuring up worst-case scenarios, often expecting failure before they even begin. It's a perspective that not only hampers their own progress but can also dampen the spirits of those around them. Stoicism warns us about the pessimist because their mindset contradicts one of its key principles, the power of perception. Stoics believe that our thoughts shape our reality. If we constantly anticipate the worst, we're likely to manifest it. So how do we handle the pessimist? Stoicism advises us to maintain our optimism and remain grounded in reality. We can empathize with their concerns, but it's important not to let their negativity influence our own perspective. Remember, we can't control the attitudes of others, but we can control our own. Stoicism teaches us that happiness comes from within and that we have the power to choose our reactions. So there you have it, the 7 types of people Stoicism warns us about. The complainer, who lets external circumstances rule their emotions. The victim, who feels trapped by their past and fails to take ownership of their present. The controller and the perfectionist, who obsess over details and try to force their will onto the world. The critic and the gossip, who spread negativity and judge others without looking inward. Lastly, the pessimist, who lets gloom and doom cloud their perspective. Stoicism teaches us not only to recognize these behaviors in others, but also to identify and address them within ourselves. It encourages us to approach life with equanimity, to accept what we cannot control, and to focus our energy on personal growth and self-improvement. Thank you for joining us on this philosophical exploration. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content. Until next time.